Good morning, everyone. I'm here to discuss the topic of gender role in different countries. And the country that we choose are South Africa, Korea, Japan, Switzerland, and Spain. First, South Africa. Corrective rape is the idea that lesbian women can be cured of their homosexuality. Heterosexual men raping them. The idea that lesbian need to be cured stems from gender roles. The men who commit the rape are trying to force women into their prescribed gender roles. When the colonists first came to South Africa, missionaries ran surveys of the black population included amongst Africa. Homosexuality did not exist. They believed this because they consider homosexuality to be a European Borgian sin which had not infiltrated Africa. Therefore, the homosexual becomes one who is lower, one who is strong. This means that the heterosexual is therefore allowed to abuse the homosexual. Trivia about this belief is strengthened by Jacob Zuma, the president of South Africa, who said homosexuality is a disgrace to the nation and to the God. And for Korea, in traditional Korean society, women's roles were confined to the home. From a young age, women were taught the virtues and subordination and endurance to prepare for their future roles as wife and mother. Women, in general, could not participate in society as men did, and their role was limited to the household matters. But here's a era with the establishment of the Republic of Korea in 1948. Women achieved constitutional rights for equal opportunities to pursue education, work, and public life. There is no doubt that the female labor force contributed significantly to the rapid economic growth of the Korea, achieved during the past 3 decades. An increasing number of women work in professional fields. With an increasing number of women entering professional jobs, the government passed the Equal Employment Act in 1987 to prevent discriminatory practices against female workers in regard to hiring and promotion opportunities. Korean women today are actively engaged in a wide variety of fields, including education, medicine, engineering, scholarship, arts, law, literature, and sports. Women are thus making significant contribution to society.
Japan, Confucian ideal influence. Japan, Confucian society, focus of the family, men are the heads of the household. Women are dependents of the men. Each have predefined roles. Confucian society expect women to marry, produce heirs, and oversee the household until just after the World War II. Japanese culture favor arranged marriage. Trivia. Poor women were drafted by the Japanese government to sexually service military men, known as the comfort women. These women work in assembly line-like environment. Soldiers referred to these women as hygienic public bathroom, or even as the same toilet. Officers had access to professional prostitutes. Men were accepted to use this service. It was believed that guys will abstain from sex for too long, pati poorly. Post-World War II, occupation abruptly changed the gender roles of Japan. Discrimination based on gender was provided by the Japanese Constitution. American attitude about public display of affection. American passion and value changed attitude of men, women toward each other and traditional roles.
Switzerland. Tradition dictates that the place of Swiss woman is in the home in charge of housework and childcare. Being in a society with strong patriarchal roots, Swiss tradition also places women under the authority of their fathers and their husbands. The 1991 Swiss Women's Strike for Women's Rights was organized 10 years after the acceptance by the Swiss population of their constitutional Article on the equality between woman and man on June 14, 1981. The 2019 Swiss Women Strike for the Women's Right was held the same day of that year as the 1991 strike. The maternal mortality rate in Switzerland is 5.00 deaths or 100,000 live births as of 2015. Abortions law were liberalized in 2002. Abortion is legal during the first timer upon condition of counseling for women who state that they are distressed, and at later stage of the medical reasons. The total fertility rate is 1.56 children born per woman as of 2018, which is below the replacement rate of 2.1.
Spain. Gender roles depended on whether or not a man-woman was married and had children. For married women, the role was to be a mother. For men, the role was to support the home. For unmarried women, gender roles were often more complex because of the economic necessity to work when gender roles strictly dictated that a woman's place should be exclusively inside the home. These gender roles would impact all aspects of life, including dating and marriage. This concept began the first major challenge to regime-mandated gender roles. Section Femina played a critical role in forcing female compliance with their gender roles. Section begged state to do so, as these norms began to change in the 1960s and 1970s. The organization tried to change some to remain culturally relevant.